mama hasn't eaten in 3 days. Will you buy our kitten? Begged Apache Girls. What he saw froze. Him, what if 2 little girls begging you to buy their kitten to feed their starving mother had been dead for 3 months? Picture this. You're driving down a lonely highway when you see them. 2 small figures holding a cardboard sign. Mama hasn't eaten in 3 days. Will you buy our kitten? Their clothes are torn, their eyes hollow, but something about them makes you stop. What you don't know is that you're about to become part of a tragedy that began at the bottom of an old well. A tragedy where a mother's love couldn't save her children, where death doesn't always mean the end, and where sometimes the living are the only ones who can set the dead free. This is the story of a man who chose kindness over fear, who looked past the impossible and saw only 2 children who needed help. A man who discovered that buying a kitten for $60 could heal wounds that death itself couldn't close. What he found in that decaying farmhouse will change how you see every roadside plea, every desperate face, every moment when someone asks for your help, because sometimes the dead aren't asking for much, just for someone to see them, just for someone to care. The truck's brakes hissed against the gravel. Tom squinted through the windshield at the 2 figures standing beside the highway, cardboard sign trembling in their small hands. The older one couldn't be more than 10. The younger, maybe 6. He rolled down the window. Heat poured in like soup. "What's that sign say?" Tom called out. The older girl stepped forward, clutching something against her chest. "Mama hasn't eaten in 3 days. Will you buy our kitten?" Her voice carried no emotion, just facts. Tom killed the engine and stepped out. The asphalt burned through his boot soles. Up close, the girls looked worse. Their dresses hung in tatters. Dirt caked under their fingernails. The younger one whispered something he couldn't catch. "What's your mama sick with?" "She won't eat," the older girl said. "Not since we fell." Tom frowned. "Fell where?" The girls exchanged a look. The younger one tugged at her sister's sleeve. "Tell him about the kitten, Sadie." Sadie held up a bundle of grey fur. The kitten was tiny, eyes still closed, but something felt wrong. Tom stepped closer and the smell hit him. Not sweat or unwashed children. Something else. Something like cemetery dirt after rain. "How much you asking?" "Whatever you got," Sadie said. Tom looked at their faces again. Really looked. Their skin had a waxy quality, almost translucent. Dark circles ringed their eyes like bruises. And their lips. Jesus. Their lips were blue. "Where's your mama now?" "At the house," the younger girl whispered. "She's waiting." The highway stretched empty in both directions. No other cars, no houses visible anywhere. Just heat waves dancing off the blacktop and 2 children who smelled like graves. Tom's hand moved toward his wallet. Something told him to drive away. Something else told him these girls needed help. "Show me where she is." The girls turned without another word and started walking down a dirt path that Tom swore hadn't been there moments before. Sadie still clutched the kitten. Her sister stayed close, bare feet silent on the packed earth. "How far is it?" "Not far," Sadie said. Tom followed, gravel crunching under his boots. The path wound through scrub brush and dying mesquite. No tire tracks, no footprints except theirs. The sun beat down merciless, but the girls didn't sweat. "What's your sister's name?" "Lily." "And your mama?" Sadie didn't answer. She just kept walking, that grey bundle pressed against her chest. The farmhouse appeared around a bend like something conjured. Paint peeling, porch sagging, windows dark as empty sockets. Tom stopped walking. The place felt wrong, too quiet. Even the insects had gone silent. "She's inside?" "In her chair," Lily whispered. Tom approached the front steps. The wood groaned. Under his weight, no power lines, no mailbox, no sign anyone lived here. "Mama doesn't come out much," Sadie said. "Why not?" "She's tired." The girls moved past him to the front door. It hung crooked on its hinges, screen torn and flapping. Inside, the house exhaled stale air that tasted of dust and something else, something sweet and rotten. "Mama?" Sadie called. "We brought someone." "No." "Answer." Tom's skin crawled. Every instinct screamed at him to leave, to get back in his truck and drive until the highway met the horizon. But the girls stood there waiting, Lily's hand on the doorframe, both of them looking at him with those hollow, expectant eyes. "She's in the back room," Sadie said. "Maybe I should wait out here. She wants to meet you." "How do you know?" "She told us." The girls disappeared into the darkness of the house. Their footsteps made no sound on the floorboards. Tom stood alone on the porch, sweat running down his back, watching dust motes dance in the doorway like tiny ghosts. "Mister?" Lily's voice drifted from inside. "She's ready now." Tom stepped inside. The floorboards didn't creak under his weight, as if the house had forgotten how to make noise. The girls stood at the end of a narrow hallway, silhouetted against a doorway. "She's in there," Sadie said. The bedroom door hung open just a crack. Tom could see a sliver of faded wallpaper, a corner of something that might be furniture. His hands felt clammy. "Maybe you should tell her I'm here first." "She knows," Lily whispered. Tom pushed the door open. The hinges made no sound. Inside, a woman sat in a wooden chair facing the far wall, her back to the door. Her hair hung long and dark, streaked with grey. She wore a blue dress that might have been pretty once. "Ma'am?" She didn't turn, didn't move. Her hands rested in her lap, fingers folded over something Tom couldn't see. "Mama's tired," Sadie said from behind him. "She doesn't talk much anymore." Tom stepped closer. The smell hit him harder now. Earth and decay and something underneath. That made his stomach turn. The woman's skin had the same waxy quality as the girl's, pale and translucent. "Ma'am? Your daughters say you haven't been eating." Still no response. Tom moved around to see her face. Her eyes stared straight ahead, glassy and unfocused. In her lap, her fingers clutched a stack of old photographs. "What's she holding?" "Pictures," Sadie said. "Of us." Tom leaned closer. The photographs showed two young girls in torn dresses, standing by a well. The same dresses Sadie and Lily wore now, the same hollow eyes, the same blue lips. The woman's mouth moved. Her voice came out like wind through dry leaves. "They've been asking for 3 days." Tom's blood went cold. He backed toward the door, but the girls blocked his path. "Mama tried to help us," Lily said. "Help you what? Get out." The woman in the chair slowly turned her head. When her eyes met his, Tom saw nothing but empty sockets filled with dirt. Tom stumbled backward, hitting the hallway wall. His heart hammered against his ribs. The girls stood there watching him, their faces calm as lake water. "We need to go," he said. "You haven't bought the kitten yet," Sadie said. "I don't want the kitten, but Mama needs us to sell it." Tom pushed past them toward the front door. His legs felt like water. Behind him, small footsteps followed, quick and light. "Mister, wait." He made it to the porch before Lily caught his sleeve. Her fingers felt like ice through the fabric. "You don't understand about Mama." "I understand plenty." "No," Sadie said, appearing beside her sister. "You don't." They pulled him around the side of the house. Tom wanted to run, to break free and sprint back to his truck, but their grip was stronger than it should have been. Their small hands felt like iron shackles. "Look," Lily said. Behind the house stood an old stone well, the kind you'd drop a bucket down and pray for water, but this one had no bucket, no rope, just a dark mouth that seemed to swallow the sunlight. "That's where we fell," Sadie said. Tom stared into the black hole. Something white caught the light at the bottom. Fabric, small pieces of cloth scattered on the stones below. "Those are our clothes," Lily whispered. "From before we got these ones." Tom's mouth went dry. "How deep is it?" "Deep enough," Sadie said. "Mama tried to get us out," Lily added. "She reached so far down her arms got all stretched, but we were too slippery, too cold." The water was so cold. Tom knelt at the well's edge. The white fabric looked like scraps of little girl dresses, torn and muddy and scattered like broken dolls. She fell in trying to save us, Sadie said, hit her head on the stones. That's when she stopped eating. Dead people don't get hungry. The girls stood on either side of him now, looking down into the darkness where their bodies lay broken and forgotten. Tom sat back on his heels, staring into the well. The truth settled in his chest like a stone dropped into deep water. These girls were dead, had been dead for months, maybe longer. Maybe their mother too, broken on the rocks below trying to save them. How long have you been out there, he asked. By the road. Since winter, Sadie said. Every day. Mama won't eat until we get money for food, but she can't eat. She's dead. Lily finished. We know. Tom looked at them, really looked. Their skin was pale as moonlight. Their clothes hung in tatters, but the tears never changed, never got worse or better, and that smell, that cemetery earth smell, clung to them like perfume. Why me? He asked. You stopped, Sadie said. Others drove past. They couldn't see us. Tom understood then. He was the first living person to acknowledge them, to see their need, the first to hear their plea and care enough to pull over. What happens if I leave? We keep waiting, Lily said. Forever? Until someone buys the kitten. Tom looked at the bundle in Sadie's arms. In the sunlight, he could see through it now, just a memory of fur and warmth, a ghost of something they'd loved when they were alive. Mama thinks if we make money, she can buy food and everything will be normal again, Sadie explained. She doesn't remember dying. She remembers reaching for us, that's all. The wind picked up, stirring dust around the well. Tom heard something then, carried on the air. A woman's voice, distant and hollow, calling from inside the house. Sadie, Lily, did you sell it yet? The girls looked at him with those hollow, hopeful eyes. She's been asking for 3 days, Sadie said. The same question, over and over. She won't rest until we bring her the money. Tom reached for his wallet. His hands shook as he pulled out the bills. $20, $40, $60, more than anyone would pay for a kitten, more than enough to buy groceries for a week. Will this be enough? Both girls smiled for the first time, real smiles that made them look alive again, if only for a moment. Tom knelt down to meet the girls at eye level. Up close, their faces looked almost solid, almost real. The money felt heavy in his hands. What's the kitten's name? He asked. Sadie's eyes lit up. Smokey. Because he's grey all over, Lily added. What does he like to eat? Milk, Sadie said quickly, and little pieces of chicken. Does he purr? All the time, especially when you scratch behind his ears. Tom nodded seriously. Sounds like a good cat. He is, Lily said. He keeps us warm at night, when it gets cold by the road. Tom counted the bills slowly, making a show of it. This looks like enough for groceries, maybe even some cat food for Smokey. Really? Really? He placed the money in Sadie's palm. The moment the bills touched her skin, her fingers felt warm, solid, real as any living child's. The strange, translucent quality faded from her face. Thank you, mister, she whispered. Sadie held out the bundle of grey fur. Tom cupped his hands and felt something impossible, soft warmth, a tiny heartbeat fluttering against his palm, the faintest vibration of a purr. Take good care of him, Lily said. I will. The girls turned and ran toward the house, their footsteps finally making sound on the hard ground. Tom heard them calling out, their voices bright with joy. Mama! Mama! We sold Smokey! We got money for food! $60 whole. Tom stood slowly, the invisible kitten cradled in his hands. He could swear he felt it shift against his palm, tiny claws kneading his skin. When he looked toward the house, warm yellow light spilled from the windows. The broken screens looked whole. Paint gleamed fresh on the walls. From inside came the sound of a woman's laughter, clear and musical. Then a screen door opening and closing. "Girls, come wash your hands for supper." Tom smiled and started walking back toward the road, the phantom kitten purring softly in his cupped palms. Tom walked slowly back toward his truck, cradling the invisible kitten like the most precious thing in the world. The phantom warmth pulsed against his palms, tiny and alive. "Easy there, Smokey," he whispered. "You're safe now." Behind him, the sounds of family life drifted from the farmhouse, chairs scraping across floors, water running in a sink. The gentle murmur of a mother helping her children wash for dinner. "Sadie, help your sister with her sleeves." "Yes, Mama." "Are you hungry?" "So hungry." Tom reached his truck and opened the door carefully, making sure not to jostle the kitten. He placed his cupped hands on the passenger seat and slowly drew them away. The purring continued, soft and steady. "Stay right there, little guy." He started the engine and pulled back onto the highway. In the rearview mirror, golden light spilled from every window of the farmhouse. Smoke curled from the chimney. A woman's silhouette moved past a kitchen window, and two smaller shapes danced around her. Tom drove a quarter-mile before he looked back again. The road stretched empty behind him. No house, no lights, just scrub brush and the endless darkening. Sky! But beside him on the passenger seat, something small and warm settled into the upholstery, something that purred like contentment itself. "I know," Tom said softly. "I know you're there." The sun dropped toward the horizon, painting the clouds, the color of old photographs. On the evening breeze that flowed through his open windows, Tom heard it, faint but unmistakable, the sound of children laughing, the creak of a screen door opening and closing one last time, and in his hands, still tingling from phantom fur, he carried the weight of a small miracle. The proof that sometimes the living owe the dead nothing more than the simple act of seeing them, of believing their need was real. The kitten purred all the way home,